Happy Friday, everybody. Welcome to a brand new episode of the John and Wendy Show here live on Twitch, later taped on YouTube. We're live on Twitch right now on the Outlaw Nation Twitch channel. I am the Outlaw John Rocha, joined as always by my better half, Wendy Lizani. How are you, Wendy?
Oh, man, I am exhausted. Today's been a long day.
Oh,
And it's
shit.
only 3 p.m.
I know.
I just came back. You already know. So for everybody else
No,
who's
no, tell
watching
me,
this
yeah.
show, I every now and again I host for Sideshow Collectibles, which is, well, Sideshow Collectibles. They have a lot
Yeah.
of premium formats and figures and statues, all sort of focused on the more geek-centric,
Yeah.
superhero or movie type characters.
Yeah, they're
So
great.
they're currently doing like a sideshow con that is all
Oh,
virtual from their studio, timed with New York Comic Con, which is happening right now. So today was an all request booth tour, which means they set up their, home base booth.
yeah.
And then the viewers can say, hey, I really like to see this statue again that you guys showed yesterday, but I didn't feel you guys spent enough time on it. Can you go over
Oh,
there and
wow.
show it to us? And so we were taking requests, and it's just
Okay.
it's called shopping while working. Because I look at these figures, 6 scale figures, life size and whatnot. And I'm just like, how much I want that one. I
Yeah.
want that one. I want that one.
I, I, I got to
Yeah.
say, at the recent Comic-Con, I spent a lot of time just wandering around that Sideshow Collectibles booth
Yeah.
because there were so many incredible designs. And look, the prices are up there, but when
Mhm.
you look at the artwork and the design and the actual expertise and technique that went into creating these things, you're like, you know what? That's a valid price. It's a valid price. Even though it's a bit high, it's a valid price.
Yeah.
I mean, the one I saw with the Joker sitting on his throne room with Harley Quinn behind him and whatever, I was like,
Ooh.
I gotta have this one, man. I gotta have
Yeah.
this one. And I was this close. It was a pretty penny, but I was this
They have
close.
payment plans. Maybe I shouldn't tell you that.
My girlfriend's ears just perked up. No.
What do you she's gonna come and pull all the plugs?
Yeah, exactly. You call the paps
Like-
Don't you dare bring that in here.
But it was a fun day. Filled up my morning, but they got good people over at Sideshow, the ones that I work with.
Yeah.
So it was a fun time. It's just that I had to get up at 6 a.m.
Ooh.
to do, because it's an hour and a half with traffic away
Oh,
from
yeah,
me.
yeah, yeah. Right.
So I was like, okay, an hour to get ready, an hour and a half to drive, and then an hour and a half to come back because also traffic.
Oh, right. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a lot.
Yeah. What about
Well,
you? You're busy today as well.
yeah, very busy. But look, I want to show you the one I'm talking about real quick. That's what I was looking
Yes,
for.
please.
This is it. This one. I mean, for God's sakes.
Oh my gosh.
I gotta have this one. It's so fantastic. Look at all the designs around it. Like the little Batman plush doll at the
Oh,
bottom.
so detailed.
Right, the film canisters. The cushion even looks like it's leather, soft leather, that you could actually put your hand on it and it would squish down. And the Joker is just smiling with all of this stuff. And behind him, I think, is Harley Quinn and maybe even Catwoman. So it's got a
Ooh.
whole thing because I think those are her knees. Harley Quinn's knees, the X and the O.
Oh, that's cute.
So yeah, this one I just was like, I saw it and I was like, I must have it. I must have it.
The little tiny Batman doll on the floor.
I mean, look at
cracks me
that. The little plush stand. It's so perfect. Like out of the comics. So
Oh my
he's got
gosh.
his Joker rangs all over this thing. So
Heck
it's,
yeah.
I think it's like
And that's all
800.
sculpted too. It's not mixed media.
Right, exactly. And I think it's
Amazing.
like 800 or something. So it's not cheap, but I was looking at it. I was like, oh man, maybe I could sell some blood. Anyway.
Payment plans. Okay.
But yeah, I mean, busy all week. Finally the channel is back up fully and getting people to watch again. The COVID 2 week it just really kind of killed my numbers and getting people to come back and being out of the algorithm. So I was just working really hard over the last 2 weeks to put up as much content as possible. And so that's been the work. And so it's been, a lot of Geek Buddy stuff this week, a lot of my stuff this week, a lot of the live shows this week, and then of course our show here. So much has been going on. Plus my podcasts with the top 10 and the Cinephiles. We just did Avengers. In top 10, we did 2 shows, recorded 2 shows. So it's just been constantly working. And then at night going to screenings. I went to see Banshees of INISHEERAN last night.
Oh, we should talk about that at the end of the show. I'm going to put that down
Absolutely.
because I don't think there's embargo left on that. So.
No, right. And I'm going to see Amsterdam this weekend because I couldn't make the screening the other day for Amsterdam. So I want to see if it's any good. A lot of people tell me it's not, but I still got to see it for myself. And so much is been going on. I'm trying to catch up on TV shows and watching Abbott Elementary, Atlanta, all this. So I'm just trying to like watch so many things. And my friend keeps pushing me to start Welcome to Wrexham once and for all. And that's 15 episodes in already. So I'm just so much is happening that I'm trying to kind of figure out. But I'm happy like that it's finally that I'm starting to churn out again and the numbers are showing up again.
Good.
And people are subscribing to the channel again, you know. I mean, so that's a good thing for me, but it's been a lot of hard work for sure. And you know, but it's life. It's life and I like it.
Such as life as a content creator.
Yes.
If you will.
Yes.
We text back and forth a lot.
Yeah.
During the week. It's funny. I was telling my husband whenever my phone goes off, it's either you, my friend Tessa, Laura Siricool, or Warren from Cosmic Wonder.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Because Dustin's usually always with me, so there's no need for him to text me when
that's true.
We're together. So the first he would always guess too. He's like, Warren, Rocha. And I was like, well, you got 1 in 4, you know.
Yeah, shout out to Tessa. Yeah. Is she was that just a sideline gig or is she like at Screen Rant now? Is that the official thing?
I think it's like a freelance.
Okay.
Thing.
I didn't know what was happening, but seeing her with the Screen Rant, I was like, oh, that's cool.
Yeah, she got to do the carpet for Hellraiser.
Yeah.
The latest one. Yeah, that was cool.
Yeah.
I haven't watched it.
Oh, you haven't watched Hellraiser?
I have the screener. I haven't watched it yet.
Yeah.
Because did you know there were there's like 11 of them?
11 of the Cenobites? Yeah.
Or like the movies or something. There's been like a lot.
Oh, 11 Hellraiser movies.
Yeah.
There's been a lot of movies.
I've only seen like the first 2.
Yeah. I didn't know there was 11. Yeah, that's for sure. No, because there's like Bloodline and there's another one. There's like a bunch of them that have these extra names to them. And the same guy kept doing them, by the way. That guy, Doug something, he kept coming back to play the character.
Wow.
And now it's a woman playing the character, which is really going to be fascinating. You know, with me and horror, I was like, I got to find my mood to watch it. And I'm sure I'll find some mood this weekend to watch a Hellraiser. But Jeff said it was okay, but it's 2 hours. And all these other ones have been like an hour and 40, hour and 30. So I'm kind of hesitant to watch a 2-hour film, but we shall see. Yeah.
Do it.
Smithy says Bloodline was mine, Rocha. I directed that flick. Okay, Alan Smithy, in here joining us. Sure you did. You know what I didn't finish, and I'm sad to say it. I didn't do a review of it. Is Blonde. I couldn't. I had 20-30 minutes left, Wendy. I couldn't, man. It was.
Yeah, I don't think you're the first person. Well, you know, I've heard varying degrees of the reception. It's kind of across the board. Sometimes, you know, the audience lean towards one side. But this one, I feel like it's very much mixed. I still haven't watched it because I literally, just like you're saying, I haven't had time.
Yeah, it's 2 hours and 20 minutes or something like that.
Yeah. So hopefully sometime I really want to watch it. I really want to watch it. So just to see for myself. But I hear people praising it and I hear people kind of say similar to, you know, some of your criticisms as well.
I posted a tweet of a guy climbing a mountain and I said, this is what it feels like. I've watched this film for 3 days and it feels like I'm free basing a mountain, free climbing a mountain. It's just insane. How much it was, but and the numbers came out that Lou, the Allison Janney film, the action film, did better than Blonde, and that is unsettling because they spent a lot of money on Blonde.
The Maryland,
it's like 100-something million, I think. So,
wow,
that's
a lot of money.
Anyway. So so we're gonna have a chill Friday show, everybody. You know, we've both been busy. We've got some topics to talk about, but maybe later in the show, we want to kind of answer your questions. What's on your mind? What you got going on in the world? So we're all just kind of interacting with each other on the show today. So start, thinking of some questions you want to send in. If you want to send in cheers and bits, we'd really appreciate it. If you want to send in Streamlabs, as you see the address right above our heads, we'd really appreciate that too. We're happy to answer them here on the show. But if you want to send in questions later on in the show, we'll answer those as well. So just letting you know that's kind of our process for today. We just want to have a fun, chill Friday show before the weekend starts. And I'm sure Wendy and I will both be working on the weekend as well. So
I'm going to take a nap after this. I got like 2 hours of sleep last night.
Oh, were you doing the She-Hulk? What were you doing? The She-Hulk reaction, or what were you? Or what were you actually?
No, I went to see Rosaline,
Oh, yes,
the Hulu movie,
the Caitlin
and
Dever one. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I came home, made dinner, and then I
Okay.
was like, I gotta go to sleep, and then like my head hit the pillow, and then I was like, bing.
Oh shit, you
It
were back
happens
up.
often.
Oh yeah, wow.
Yeah, it happens often. I have like anxiety at the worst times where I'm just like tossing and turning. I can't. You know, sometimes you know you have like, for example, you have an early call time
Yes. Oh
and
yeah.
you're
You're like,
so worried that you're
I'm
gonna
not gonna
miss
wake
it,
up in time. Yeah, yeah,
and
yeah.
so you set 40
Oh
alarms,
yeah, yeah.
all 2 minutes apart.
Those are the worst. Those are
That's
the
I think that's
worst.
what it was yesterday. I was like, because I haven't hosted for Sideshow in like almost a year,
Uh huh.
so I was like, oh, did I miss it?
Oh no, shit! It's 3 in the afternoon. How's it dusted?
Yeah, and it's not one of those places I can just easily drive to. Like, I'll be there in 20.
Yeah, yeah.
I'll
No, it's a
see you in an
long.
hour.
I'm sure.
They're like,
We've
don't
been
bother.
dealing with a rat in our backyard.
Oh no.
We've killed two of them. There've been three, right? So we killed two of them with the traps,
He
but
might
this
have
third
the
one is
babies.
like a crafty motherfucker. Like we can't catch him. We've bought new traps, and he knows they're traps because he poops right next to the traps as like a fuck you.
Oh my
Yeah. And
god.
then this morning at 5 o'clock, he flipped one of the traps that snapped, and it woke me up out of bed. And I caught him, and he looked back, and he just took off. And I was like, oh, this is war.
That is a
This is Jaws.
king rat.
Yeah, it's a rat. And I'm just like, man, what's the houses that happens in San Diego? It's a new experience for us. We didn't have them last year, but apparently my neighbor has a fruit tree, and so the rats are coming to have some of the fruit. So we've set these traps up. But
You doing peanut butter as a bait?
we did peanut butter, we did bacon, we've done fruit and nuts.
Dang.
My girlfriend did.
Buffet.
Unfortunately, my girlfriend did fruit and nuts because she read it online,
Yeah.
and we killed the baby bird. The baby bird was
Oh
grabbing
no.
the
Oh no.
yeah,
Oh
yeah. My
no.
girlfriend came out, and I heard the scream of pain. Yeah,
Oh
just utter pain. And I walked out
no.
there. I was like, "What's wrong?" And she's like, "A baby bird. We killed
Oh,
a baby
oh
bird." I'm like, "No, no,
no. We
no. You
didn't know
didn't.
any
I
better.
made you put them out. You didn't kill it. I did it.
Oh
It was like."
no.
So I had to like get rid of it and stuff. So, but yeah,
Yeah.
that's what we're dealing with. Is if I ain't got enough going on, I got to go toe to toe with a rat.
You got a rat to deal with.
It's mousetrap. It's
You
mousetrap.
you gotta find a way to get rid of them. Otherwise,
Yeah, more are gonna
they're gonna
come.
have babies. Yes.
Yes, yeah.
We've been dealing with a rat problem too because we have a
Oh yeah.
giant oak tree outside. So there's
Oh,
tons of things living. We get raccoons, we get squirrels,
oh shit.
we get rats. Sometimes you get peacocks
Yeah.
because they're protected over
Peacocks.
here. Peacocks.
Really?
Yeah,
Wow.
they'll sit on the roof, 3 a.m. Ah, that's what they sound like. And you're like, what is that? Who is yelling at 3 a.m.? My neighbors text
Yeah.
me. I think the peacock is on my roof. I'm like,
Let's shoot those things.
gotcha.
Smithy says I should get the rat to cook for me. Yeah, it probably is Ratatouille. He's so smart. He's just laughing at the shit we put out there. So.
They're like, traps. That's a pity.
She won't do the tape because apparently the tape, like they get stuck on the tape and then they start to try to yank themselves out, and they disembowel themselves because their body gets stuck on the tape and they can't figure out what's going on, and so they keep yanking until they rip their bodies off
That's worse.
onto the tape.
Just do the trap.
Yeah, we're not going to do that. That's inhumane. We're just going to do the trap.
Yeah, just
So
do the
we'll
trap.
see what happens. So anyway, let's get into the show.
Let's get into the show. Welcome to our rat talk, everybody.
That's right, rat talk. All right, what do you got, Wendy? Where should we start? Please remember sending in the cheers and the bits, please, people, and send in your Streamlabs. I'll be checking them periodically throughout the show. What do we got, Wendy?
I think we got to talk about the latest episode of She-Hulk episode 8, and we're walking into spoiler territory because I really would like to get into it.
Yeah.
And the show came out yesterday, so I hope you guys had enough time to watch it. If you haven't yet, you might want to mute the next few minutes because spoilers. So with that, this is probably my favorite episode this season, not because of the cameo.
Okay.
It's because they said from the beginning, this is a She-Hulk show. This is a lawyer show, right? And they set that premise up of like, I wanted to see Jen Walters / She-Hulk like being a lawyer and have the could be back and forth and all this and that. We got little bits here and there, but like representing like You know, like the case with the magicians, it was
Yeah.
just okay. I like the one with Emil, when she was arguing to have him released.
Mm,
You know, I like that one because that was
yeah.
her lawyering, and I was like, yes, get it, Jen.
Right.
But we haven't really gotten much of Jen as a lawyer.
Yeah.
Other than that, like I like the wedding episode a lot because it really spoke to me. I was like, I've been there. But it wasn't lawyer. It was just fun.
Yeah.
So this one, the fast back and forth between her and Matt in the very beginning, and even while they were fighting and they're still exchanging legal advices to each other, it's what I was looking for. It
Yeah.
wasn't just the cameo. That was the cherry on top. So I really enjoyed this episode, and I feel like at the end of it as well,
Mhm.
we kind of come full circle to what her cousin told her once they see you as a monster.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a great point. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. Yeah, yeah. The banter between them was fantastic in this episode. I had a couple issues with like the walk of shame. I wasn't a big fan of, and
Mm,
the uh, the argument about the jet fuel. I thought, well, Jen would have been smart enough to check that, or Daredevil would have been smart enough to check that. But like they've said, this is not a lawyer show first. It's a superhero show first. So you kind of have to watch it through that prism. But the argument about privacy, as you were saying, the back and forth between them about privacy
that
and
was it.
superhero, that was
Mhm.
really cool. I thought
Yeah.
that was very well written and intelligent. And the arguments they were both delivering, you could like understand how someone could have that point of view and perspective. So clearly, it was a wait of 7 episodes, and then the 8th episode, Daredevil showed up. But I feel like his appearance was great, and their chemistry was fantastic. Their banter back and forth, as you said, was really good. The action scenes were fun, and he didn't overshadow her, and she didn't emasculate him. They were equals doing their own thing, and I appreciated that overall as an episode for sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
He just came in, and she's kind of like, "Who is this guy?"
yeah. Who's this asshole?
You know, and he walks in all like super confident because he is confident in his own.
Yeah,
He really is a really good lawyer. And I feel like the way the show set up Jen for, that she lost the case,
yeah,
it wasn't really because people are like, "Oh, they're showing that she's a bad lawyer." And I was like, I think it's just because her client unfortunately was not as cooperative
yeah,
and forthcoming as they should have been. Um, so it's not like she didn't dig to find out about the jet fuel situation. Is that he probably didn't even bother telling her
yeah,
because he probably didn't even realize it when Luke said it. He's like, "Oh, right," and she's like, "What?
yeah.
Come on." I feel like this guy kind of just like half asses most things in life,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
right?
Daddy,
He's got a
a rich
rich.
daddy's boy. Yeah, yeah,
Exactly. So Eugene probably was sitting during prep and she's probably saying, "Can you do these notes?" Because Jen is so focused on work where Nikki's like, "Hey, what are you
yeah,
doing?
yeah.
It's Friday night. You're gonna go out, right?" She's like, stack of files at home working. So I don't buy for a second that like, oh, she's a crappy lawyer or just to
Right.
give Matt the win because some people are saying that in the comments, not this
Oh, okay.
comment, but like in the videos and
Yeah,
whatnot,
yeah, yeah.
not in our live stream. So and I would like to say to look at it from that angle
Mhm.
that this client was, and that's the part of being a lawyer. Sometimes you get these clients that the firm has to represent
Right, right.
because of their status
Yeah,
within the company.
yeah.
But I really liked it. I enjoyed the fight scenes, and that ending.
That end,
Oh,
Wendy, that ending. I'm not a woman, but that ending,
did it
I
not
could
give you
feel.
chills?
Oh, yes, I could feel it as a human being. The idea of having your privacy violated in that way, to have Josh having videotaped you all having sex,
So
and then
mad at him.
yeah, no, and then
I was
giving it.
rooting for him too from the wedding episode.
You were supposed to be one of the good ones. The intelligentsia there. I mean, obviously they get their hands on everything, but them showing the texts and showing this and essentially slut shaming her
Yep.
was really brutal. And I think all the lighthearted stuff that came before was kind of fooled you that the show was going to be a little lighter than it was, and then that ending, and you're like, oh wow, and it's a female writer, female showrunner, female director, so clearly they've tackled and hinted at issues that women have dealt with in our society.
Yes.
This was a big one because so many celebrities and athletes have had their phones hacked, their videos and pictures of themselves, which they're allowed to do, for God's sake, because they expect privacy, were put up on the internet, and that is such a violation. I remember the actress Elizabeth Winstead, yes, there were pictures of her from when she took for her husband years ago, and they came up on and she said it sent her into a tailspin because for some people it's no big deal to them who are looking at it, but for the person it can be such a phenomenal violation. So to see them really dial into that and then have her be angry and have the other two women in her life, Mallory and Nikki, try to stop her from getting too upset because they know what happens and how she's going to be labeled. I thought there was a lot of truth in those consolidated 2 or 3 minutes of that episode that I don't think any of us were prepared for, and it was genius, absolute genius.
Yeah, it definitely, when they revealed that, it's like so far left turn from what the show was, and obviously that's been the plan because they've been writing this show forever. It's not like
this,
so that's just, it felt so uncomfortable to watch. Especially if you try to put yourself in her shoes, where she's like lawyer of the year, all the women.
What was that all about? Yeah.
Interesting. I like what Mallory said.
Yeah.
She was like, hate being asked what it's like to be a female lawyer.
Right.
Just claps back to the announcer. I was like, yes. But the expression that She-Hulk had as she was watching the screen, she's realized what's happening was awful. And imagine, like, just the information is out there for people to see, but this is being shown in a room with her family, her friends, her colleagues, and her bosses.
Yeah.
Where she's been trying to impress, because a lot of people, I'm sure, in the firm have said, oh, well, she's actually not good enough to work here. Like, we just hired her because, like, she's She-Hulk. Right? I'm sure there's people in their heads make that excuse within the firm, within the show. So now all of this, so her anger finally got to her, because there's only so much patience one person can have, and this is your entire life. So
and Jen Walters versus Jen Walters is Jen Walters versus Jen Walters as She-Hulk are two different people, right? I mean, even in the Daredevil interactions, you can tell when she's She-Hulk, she's much more confident. She's much more in control of the situation. Matt's like, just hang back, I'm gonna handle this, you don't have a lot of experience. So Matt has this hallway fight scene as Daredevil, but then when the next one looks like it's going to be teed up, she just crashes through the ceiling, taking all 5 of them out, and goes, see? And then they head in there, and they each fight their own way as they're doing the banter and whatever. So she's much more of an initiative taker as She-Hulk than she is as Jen.
Yes.
So when this is happening, her destroying the TVs, her raging and grabbing that guy and holding him, who I think is Todd, by the way.
Really?
Oh yeah, I think Todd's in charge of intelligentsia 100%. I think Todd is intelligentsia. Todd is not the one trying to get her blood. I think that's the leader.
That's interesting theory.
Intelligentsia. That's what I think. I think she's being attacked from two sides. That's what I think. And I don't know if we're going to see it next week or not, but I think Todd's doing intelligentsia, and the leader is doing the blood stuff with the wrecking crew. I think that's how this is.
So these are separate attacks.
Yes. Because as a woman, you're not attacked from one direction. You're attacked from multiple, unfortunately, in our society. And that's the truth. And so it wouldn't surprise me that they go that route. And I think the D-list villains from the Yurt and all that, I think Abomination and that crew is going to roll up to defend Jen in the finale. That's what I think is going to happen.
Because they had that nice moment in therapy together. Yeah.
Yeah. I think they're all going to be a part of it. And that just makes so much sense, because her crew wouldn't be yet like the Avengers and shit. No, it's gonna be these D-list dudes.
Yeah.
Because that's who she knows, So but my issues with some of the comedy aside, that ending was just on point, man.
Yeah.
And I wonder what the next step is, and I wonder if Daredevil is done for the season or if he comes back in the finale and helps her in this situation. Like, to shut down those, because I mean a lot of those celebrities sue those sites to make sure those
Yes.
videos and pictures are never shown again. Yeah.
I would like to see if she obviously, they had I think those were the DODC guys, the damage control guys
Yes, they were. Yeah.
that
How
came
quickly.
in. Yeah, very quickly come in.
Yeah.
She probably have gotten detained,
Right.
in like
Right.
a cell or something like that.
Yeah.
Just kind of like Emil was. And if she needs a lawyer to defend her, she knows a really good one. But I think if he's already gone back to New York and he's got stuff to take care of in Hell's Kitchen, I
Right.
think Mallory, which I've heard that in the comic books, Mallory is technically supposed to be like a nemesis to her.
Yeah, yeah,
But
in the
in this
comics.
show, they haven't played it that way so far.
Yeah.
So I think it'd be kind of cool actually for her to be defended by Mallory, just because I think she would get it. But we'll see. I think Matt would be really cool as well. What did you think before she went to the gala?
Yeah.
And she was having that moment of breaking the fourth wall, and she was like, "Well, this is weird. Isn't the episode supposed to be over?"
Yeah.
And I was like, "Where are we going with this?" Gosh, only if we knew that was what she was setting up for. But she mentioned about another Hulk, but red.
Yes, a red Hulk. Yeah,
And then
yeah.
Nikki jumping out, and she makes the Wolverine pose with her makeup brushes, and
Yeah.
I'm just, it's just interesting placement of these
Mhm.
things. Like, what does it all mean?
I know, it's a good question, because also the Wakandan spear that Todd brags about at the table, that's probably because of the vibranium, the one thing that could actually pierce her skin is the Wakandan spear. So is that going to come into play in the finale here? Is Todd going to throw that spear at her or something? Right. And so this is a new thing for Jen to confront, because Jen has kind of defaulted into thinking that she's invulnerable as the Hulk. Remember, she had that line with the guy that hit her with the bat, and she's like, "Oh, it's sad that you think that was going to work."
Yeah.
She says that. So having something actually pierce her skin is a new obstacle or challenge for her as she grows as a hero and as the She-Hulk. So that's going to be interesting if that comes up next in the finale.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, there's the red. I mean, because also when she's flipping out, it's a red light on her face. So clearly, allusion to Red Hulk as well. There, I don't think she's going to be Red Hulk, obviously, but there is a tease here, and of course, Snyder kind of referenced the possibility last week that Harrison Ford might have been in talks to play Thunderbolt Ross, who becomes a Red Hulk. Who knows what they're going to do? But the illusions are there. The Wolverine illusion is there, which is really interesting, because there have been a lot of rumors that they're going to say that Hulk and She-Hulk are both mutants, that the reason the gamma thing caused what it caused in them and they were able to deal with the gamma in their blood is because they're mutants. And so showing Wolverine there would be very interesting, because that's a mutant, obviously. And so there's going to be more and more of that talk that'll have connective tissues, I think, with all of these.
And they've already introduced another mutant in the show.
Right.
Not Manbull.
No, the other guy, El Aguilar.
I can't say it right. I think it's like the eagle, right? In Spanish.
El Aguila. Yeah.
He is a mutant. So I like that they're inserting more and more of this as we expand the universe a little bit more. But overall, I really enjoyed it just because we got to see her lawyer with another lawyer back and forth. Yeah.
And I think the Mallory-Nikki divorce stuff was them laying the groundwork that Mallory and Nikki can work together.
Yes.
So maybe the finale is Mallory and Nikki defending Jen to get her out of that situation.
I love that, because that's her best friend too. So you would really go to bat for her.
And because this is a female-focused show, women helping women, obviously, that just makes so much sense, so that could be the way to go.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we have one more week to find out.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do.
I hope the next week's episode is as a viewer, I want it to be longer than 30 minutes.
Yeah.
They've all been, I was surprised to see this one was at 30.
What do you think? Because we were discussing about this with the Geek Buddies earlier today. Do you think it needs to hit the landing? I mean, I'm of the mind that I don't think I need this thing to hit the landing, because I want it to be a good episode.
Right.
But it doesn't have to blow my socks off. Like, she is very much She-Hulk, and I'm cool with it. And if that was the goal of this series, to at least get people to accept her as She-Hulk, they've accomplished it. Whether next week's episode is good or not, it's irrelevant.
Right.
So do you, in my mind, but do you think they need to stick that landing hard, because there have been such There have been a lot of critics of the show over the last few weeks.
Well, I slightly want to address the criticism, but I really don't want to open the floodgate. No, I really don't, because I already fight those comments all day, every day.
Oh yeah, I've seen you post it.
Dude, every single Thursday, like my mental health goes straight to the bottom because I see these comments.
Yeah.
Like there was one, they're like, why would she get mad? I would never, I'm sure it wasn't, I don't know. Anyways, this commenter wrote something along the lines of, I would never smash this, or who would smash the screen and put other people's life in danger over some stupid video. I'm like, so, this is not.
Wow.
This is why it's exhausting in the comments. This is why it's exhausting in the comments.
That's
and
why
like
stay out of the comments. Yeah.
But I want to interact. That's
I know.
the whole point
you're right. That's as creators, we have to walk that line. You're right, Wendy.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And it's like there's so many good ones. The majority of them are good. And I don't mean good because they agree with me. Good because they have either praises for the show or criticism for the show. I like reading those. If you have a criticism, why? Tell me why with your words as you type, not some stupid video. So I wrote back something like, well, I guess you've been fortunate to not have been in a situation where you've been privately filmed in your home and then have your entire phone history plastered across the screen for your family, bosses, colleagues, and friends to see in your most intimate moments.
Yeah. It's true.
So, yeah. Because I'd be seeing red and crying. I think I would like blank out. I don't even think I could remember and register.
I think that person is thinking that it's an edited video that the person who is in the video is in control of. It's not a Kardashian situation. This is actually an unedited video that was put out there without her permission and her knowledge. And that's such a violation. You know, it's such and if it's Todd, that is gross. And the
I really don't like him.
You know, and the thing that concerns me is that Mallory is essentially Todd's lawyer. So what is the role? Is she behind all this? Because as you said, she's been the villain in the books.
I would hate that so much.
I know I would hate it. So maybe she turns on Todd in some way, like she finds out this information on Todd. Because remember, she's the one that told Nikki not to tell Jen about the intelligentsia.
Yeah.
And she said it was, you don't want to have her worried about this kind of stuff, but is
it a
was
cover
Mallory telling him not because she doesn't want to get found out that she's behind this whole thing? Yeah.
Interesting theory.
Yeah, I wouldn't like that. I'm with you. I wouldn't like that.
I wouldn't. That wouldn't stick the landing for me. There's the answer to that. No, I don't think they necessarily need to stick the landing. I think the point of these shows, obviously, I want Jen's story to come to somewhat of a closing of the chapter. Not the end of her story, because she's got a long way to go. I need to see her in movies. I am not done. I don't think we as audiences are done with watching Tatiana Maslany perform as She-Hulk.
No, not at all. Yeah.
But I don't need them to like 100% home run out of the park.
Yeah.
But I want a good end of the chapter for Jen so she can move on to the next.
Yeah.
I want at least this right here to be somewhat resolved or give us a lead into what could be next and how that's going to play out in the MCU. Because I don't think it's likely that we're going to get a second season for this show. Just because. Oh, yeah,
you don't think so?
Well, it's just so rare for Marvel shows to get season 2. Like Loki so far is the only one.
Well, and Loki can because Loki's dead.
Loki's getting a season 2 though.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He can because he's dead. So it's not connected necessarily to affect the canon. Whereas if you get a second season for any of these other ones, they affect the canon.
Yeah. So, but I hope that the writers at this, with this turn of events can give us something really good for next week. Yeah.
We got a cheer from Theral_unfiction. Thank you, Theral. Says, do you think ending is Hulk finds out he has kids and faints too?
Because he's on Sakaar?
Yeah, Sakaar.
Son of the Hulk.
Shit. I didn't think about that. Like because he was on there for like 2 years being the champion. I imagine just like Conan and Conan the Barbarian, there would have been women brought to him, or he could have started a relationship or whatever and had that's a possibility.
That is totally a possibility. Sakaar is a character, son of Hulk and Caldera, I think I'm saying that correctly, the old strong, and was conceived while he was on the planet Sakaar.
Wow.
Sakaar, and sorry, Sakaar is the planet name.
Yeah, it's a
I
planet.
can't. The sun's name is Skaar, Skaar.
Okay.
So that's possible.
That could be possible.
That's
But I don't
possible.
think they're going to bring Hulk back for the finale. I think the Hulk was like the push of the boat out to sea,
Mm.
but he's off doing his own thing on Sakaar. I think that's going to lead to a standalone movie for Mark Ruffalo down the road.
You don't think they'll introduce his son though?
In the movie, maybe. I mean, everything's expanding in this universe.
Yeah, that's true.
You know, nothing's ever a possibility. You know,
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's all possible for sure.
And faints.
Oh,
I can see maybe Bruce. I don't see the Hulk fainting,
okay.
but maybe
Yeah, Bruce.
maybe Bruce. Well, he just wouldn't know how to like. It's kind of like, wait, what now?
Yeah.
Like nobody expects to hear that, right? Like,
right. No, true.
so, and
100%.
especially from a planet other than Earth.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
We'll see. All right. Well, keep sending in your bits and your cheers, ladies and gentlemen. Please keep sending in your Streamlabs as well. We're 40 minutes into the show. We appreciate it madly. Thank you to the 17 of you who are watching us right now. We appreciate it. Where shall we go to next, Win?
Well, we got another teaser trailer that we can talk about. And this one came out of New York Comic Con, and it was also announced during the Nintendo Direct. So we all know that they are making the Super Mario Brothers movie, and they have just released the teaser trailer. And this is with Nintendo, obviously, and Illumination, the same studio that brought you Despicable Me, Minions, Secret Life of Pets, Sing, and etc. Did you get a chance to take a look at the trailer?
So this has been going around for the last couple of days. I have never played a Mario game.
What?
Yeah. So
like ever?
Ever. And people are like going insane in reaction. And I mean my friends in reaction to me revealing that. Jeff made a big deal out of it yesterday on Hot Mic.
What did he say?
He just was like, what? He led the show with it. I wanted to lead with the Cavill, Superman, possibly Black Adam stuff, but he's like, no. We're leading with this. I'm making an executive decision, and I'm like, okay. And he's like, this trailer came out. Like, Rocha, you've never played a Mario game, and so it became a whole thing. And it's true. I've never played it. It never drew me because I was in my 20s when that thing came out, so I was like focused on other things. And I know there've been subsequent games, but I play the sports games, and I play like Assassin's Creed.
Oh, that's true.
I play the more mature stuff in my mind.
You were not 20 when the Mario came out.
No, when did Mario come out?
1985. You were not 20.
All right, fine. I wasn't 20. That's true. I guess for whatever reason, I thought it was a young kid's game, like a little kid's game. So I mean, never played
a little cartoon.
Right.
Little cartoon plumber.
That being said, though.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. The trailer was gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous animation-wise. You can tell that they spent a lot of money on this. Love the designs, love the look. The voiceover work was hilarious. The little penguins with their snowballs was funny as shit. Mario getting introduced near the end of the trailer, I think was really smart because a lot of people have been worried about Pratt's voice. And who's the guy that's freaking out? It was trying to talk to him in the
Toad. That's Toad? Voiced by Keegan-Michael Key.
Oh, okay. Well, Toad, love his energy. I've seen him as a GIF people use on Twitter for Triggered. So that's cool. But I like the story, and the voiceover from Pratt worked for me because he's doing his voice, but he's throwing just a hint of the Italian New York thing in there, right on the edges. And I think that's a good approach, to be honest with you. So me coming away from the trailer was like, you know what, I might see this thing because it looks like they really care about the look of this film and how it feels, So
yeah. I am trying to get over the shock that you haven't played a Mario game. You ever play Super Smash Brothers?
What is that?
Oh my god.
What is that? Is Super Smash?
It's like an all-out brawl video game. Think Street Fighters, but like 8 people.
Okay. Is that
from
Mario?
All various too? Mario is in it. It's a lot of Nintendo characters. So like Seamus is in it, Link is in it. Yeah, you just like Pikachu's in it.
Is it
You
like
just like,
Injustice, like the superhero
oh,
fight game?
kinda,
Okay.
kinda,
I imagine
yeah.
you're not pulling out spines though, right? You're not doing
Oh
anything
no
like
no
that.
no
It's
no
not
no
more
no.
combat. You're
Yeah,
just
you just
winning.
bamf them off the screen. There's no what is it called
Okay.
when they have the heart and it's none of that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
fatality. There's none of that.
Kill Luigi. No,
No no no. You never even played Mario Kart?
no. Oh my God, no. I'm terrible at those racing games. I
Oh
mean,
gosh, you should play some of the Mario sports ones. They have Mario Golf. They have Mario
what-
Soccer.
they have
They have
Mario
Mario.
Soccer?
Yeah, it's like it's something Super Striker. It's really cool
Now that I might play. That because I'm
because you play
about to
FIFA.
get. Yeah, I'm about to get the new FIFA. I have to wait. My girlfriend's going to get it to me for my birthday, which is in a couple weeks. So, but I'm
Tell her to
gonna.
add on Mario Striker.
I may just get it myself. I'll play it
Yeah,
if it's available on
yeah, you enjoy
Amazon.
it.
I'll give it a chance because so
Yeah,
many people are like, "You got to play this game. You got to play Mario." So,
gotta play
but
Mario. Mario's great.
yeah. What did
The
you think
trailer.
as a huge Mario?
I love the animation. I think it
Mm.
is the best from Illumination so far. Everything is so
Oh yeah, good point.
detailed, like the way Bowser looks with with his like floating island dripping with lava coming in.
Yeah,
Oh, so imposing and cool. And then to set that off with these little penguins pelting little tiny mini snowballs and
yeah,
having no
yeah.
effect. All of it really worked for me. A lot of the voices worked for me. Jack Black as Bowser,
Mhm.
King Bowser worked. Keegan Michael Key as Toad worked for me. So
Okay.
with Pratt, I wasn't kind of like a fan of his casting
All right. Not a
at
lot of people
in
were.
the beginning, but
Yeah.
I was like, well, I liked him as Emmett, in the Lego
Oh
movie.
yeah, he was great as
He's
Emmett.
hella funny, yeah, he's super good in that. So I
Yeah.
was like, well, maybe like they cast him for a reason, right?
Right.
Um, so I was wondering what kind of take he was going to do on Mario's voice. I
Mhm.
didn't want him to do a blatant Italian accent.
Right.
Chris Pratt is an
It's a
Italian.
me.
Yeah, I don't, and I also don't need something like that caricature of a
Yeah.
portrayal, like in the movie when he's gonna have dialogue
Yeah.
after
Right.
dialogue.
Exactly.
Like, but I wanted to have the essence of Mario.
Mhm.
For everybody who's watching the French dubbed trailer of this movie, the Mario in that one is close to what I wanted for Pratt to have
Oh,
tried to do.
okay.
Um, so if, I hear you guys are saying like a lot. There's like a hint of like Brooklyn
Yeah. Yeah.
in
Right on
there,
the
which
edges.
which makes sense. I didn't really hear. I didn't really pick it up, but like
Mm.
obviously he said like two lines.
Yeah. Right. It's yeah.
so
I just because I do
so
voiceovers, I'm like
yes,
always, yeah.
you can hear it. Yeah,
Yeah.
your expert ears pick it up.
Yeah.
So I'll wait and see what they'll give us in the next teaser, in the
Yeah.
next big trailer,
Yeah.
when he has more lines. But I wasn't imagining when I heard Chris Pratt as Mario, I didn't think it was just gonna sound like Chris Pratt. But you
Right.
know what I'm saying?
Right.
I wanted a little bit more differentiate from his own voice
And that's a
than
fair
just an
point
accent.
because when he'd said in the quotes leading up to the trailer, like, this is, you've never heard a voice like this that I'm going to do for Mario in the
He said
Mario
that?
world. Yeah. Oh
Is
my
he
God. You didn't,
trolling?
that was his, I don't know. He said, you've never heard a voice like the voice I'm going to do for Mario in the world of Mario ever. So he made a whole
Huh.
deal of building up his voice.
Okay.
But then he did his voice, or that trailer came out, and people were like, "That's just Chris Pratt being Chris Pratt." There's not
Yeah.
much
With a
going
hint
on.
of Brooklyn.
Yeah, just a hint.
Just a hint of
But
Brooklyn.
I don't know if you caught what's her name from My Little Pony, Tara
Oh,
Strong.
Tara Strong.
Tara Strong has been on a tear today.
Why?
Defending the gentleman who does his voice in the Mario games.
Oh, he's actually in the movie.
He's in the
Did
movie
you
as
know
a
that?
cameo.
Yeah.
And so she's saying how there's nothing Chris Pratt did here that this gentleman couldn't have done himself. This is ridiculous. So she's just been going off about it on Twitter. And I find that to be fascinating that she is, because she is just, she's not.
She's supporting the VO community.
Yeah. And Tara ain't quiet. When Tara believes in something, she goes after it. I mean, she was great as Miss Minutes in the Loki, and so she, she's been doing voiceover work for many years.
Oh yeah, I see it. She's posting tons.
Yeah, tons. She is going after the movie for not having him be the lead in the film. So that is because there is, and for people who don't know, within the voiceover community, there is backlash towards celebrities coming in, actors coming in to do voiceover work, because voiceover people 9 times out of 10 are not on camera for a majority of their career, because the voiceover thing works better for them for whatever reason. And I had a podcast where I interviewed many famous voiceover people. I was represented by William Morris for about 10 years.
Wow.
I sat in green rooms with voiceover people and heard conversations, and very successful voiceover people, by the way, and heard their conversations about how temperamental actors are when they make the switch to voiceover, how they don't really get it. Some get it, but a lot don't, and how disrespectful they are to voiceover acting. Remember Chris Rock in the Oscars saying, I just get to show up, say some lines, and leave, and I make so much money. And the voiceover community was so pissed when he said that at the Oscars. And rightfully so. There's a sense of disrespect that people have for voiceovers, and it's frustrating. So Tara, what Tara's doing is essentially an extension of that, because there is a lot of people who want to be more vocal about what they feel is them being marginalized, so that celebrities can come in and do these voices when it's a big feature film, and it's just a fascinating thing within the subculture of voiceover artists that is an element of it for sure. So Tara doing this, no surprise.
Yeah, people think like, oh, you're just speaking into a mic, you just make a voice. There's a whole skill set. It's a different way of speaking and breaking down the lines and putting in emotions in your pauses and the way you breathe.
Yep.
It's so different, and it's different from doing like an audiobook to a video game voiceover to dubbing for anime. Like all that is so different, and it's a specific set of skills that some actors, like you said, can adapt really well to it.
Yes, some can.
I think Keegan-Michael Key is potentially one of them.
Oh my God, so good.
But yeah, I don't like it when people think it's just easy. You're just speaking into a mic.
I mean, I watched John DiMaggio work one time.
Mm-hmm.
It was like watching it's like you're watching a composer, like you're watching Beethoven work or Mozart work. Like, and I'm not saying obviously I'm not saying, but he's one of the top guys in voiceover. And he was handed like 5 scripts, 5 different characters. He had never seen the characters before or the scripts. And I watched him find the voice for each character from outside the booth. Wow. I was there with a friend visiting for a recording. And I was just shocked. It's like watching Matt Damon and Will Hunting like figuring out the fucking problems. And you're just like,
amazing.
How the hell can you do this? And it was incredible to watch the talent at work and the genius it takes to be able to do that, because you don't get to go home with the script and sit there. Most of the times you don't get to go home with the script and sit there and study it, memorize it, and really kind of come to no, you've got to come up with it on spot sometimes when you're called in to do these characters. So I just had nothing but incredible respect for what John was doing. So yeah, people should respect it much more.
Yes. So yeah. We'll see, I mean, yay for Tara for supporting her friend.
Yep, absolutely.
And another thing is
we just got a cheer from AZ Badfish. Thank you, cheer. 500 bits. Thank you.
Whoa. Wow.
Saying not having a good time lately, so thanks for keeping me distracted. Hey.
Oh, AZ, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Virtual hug from us to you.
Absolutely. Sorry, AZ. We wanted to have a relaxed Friday show. I hope our voices are calming you down and our banter is making you laugh, and as you said, keeping you distracted from the things that are going on. That's the least we can do. So we appreciate you letting us into your life to do that.
And we got a couple of more cheers as well from, you guys are popping in. Thank you. From DJ Pistol Pete ABZ. Right above that, they write, hey, John and Wendy, been big fans of you guys since Collider days. When the Outlaw beat Dan Murrell in the Schmodown was a big deal. I do support Arsenal, so we are doing better than Liverpool. So it'll be interesting to hear your take on that.
Oh,
that's all you, Rocha, because I don't watch it.
Yeah, I'll take a little bit of. By the way, I'm doing these. How can I make the banner different? It's kind of a. Can I do like? Oh no,
There
it's
you
too
go.
big. Minimal.
Oh.
There we
Oh,
go. That's I do
ah.
like to do smaller ones.
Nice.
So here's what I'll say to you real quick, because I know not a lot of people are soccer watchers. I don't want to lose too many viewers. So here's what I'll say. First of all, thank you for bringing up me beating Dan Merle. Still one of the greatest days of my life. And
What
of
was the
course,
question that won?
Dan missed who directed The Burbs, which was Joe
Oh.
Dante. And my question, I think, was what film stars Billy Campbell and Jennifer Lopez in a where she's being physically abused by him in the movie?
Brave?
It was Enough. The film
Whatever. Oh,
where she's
enough. I'm
trained to
like
be. Yeah,
brave. Well, I was like, what is it? It's one of those one word movies.
yeah, exactly. So I was very lucky to win that match, but I mean, it was first of 4 titles and it was great. And so, but yeah, and of course we shut down the Schmodown last weekend. It's officially over. So nice of you to bring that up, dude. I appreciate that, Pistol. And as far as Arsenal goes, yeah, you guys are in first place. I think getting Gabriel Jesus back, getting Gabriel Jesus from Man City to be your lead striker, that's been a godsend. I think the team buying into Mikel Arteta's coaching style. Remember last year, there was rumors he was going to be fired mid-season last year because you guys just weren't picking it up. And then the back half of the season, you guys really exploded. Wasn't enough to get into the Champions League, but certainly was enough to lay the groundwork. And I think the team has bought into his philosophy even more. So no surprise that you all have only lost 1 match to Manchester United up to now. And then we're going to play you guys at 8:30 in the morning Pacific Standard Time. And with Liverpool, and we found a new formation against Rangers. So all these people are getting really cocky that Arsenal's gonna whip us. We shall see what happens on Sunday. So, but all respect to you guys right now. You guys look like world beaters for sure, and only Manchester City looks to be in your league right now. So there you go. That's my 2 cents. But thank you, DJ Pistol ABZ, for the 200 cheers. We appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right, Wendy, where shall we go next?
Real quick, since we were on the topics of voice actors,
Yes.
Legend of Vox Machina season 3 was announced at New York Comic Con, and this is based on the campaign 1 of Critical Role, where a group of nerdy voice actors, their words, not mine,
Yeah.
get together and play Dungeons and Dragons. We know that it is on Amazon Prime, and they already have season 1 that is available for you to watch. Season 2 has yet to be released, and they've announced season 3, which means
Wow.
I think that the Amazon Prime is liking the results, of season 1. They're liking the process of season 2, and everybody on the cast of Vox Machina is very much hands-on with this project. They sit with the writers to write it. The writers get it. So I'm very excited for them to have a season 3, and I would love to hear announced campaign 2 get the same animation treatment as well.
Yeah. I mean, I don't watch it because I didn't watch the show, but I know Todd Stashwick's on the show, and he's really cool. And I've heard nothing but great things about it. I know people have played the campaigns. One of our listeners, Justin Toner, one of our viewers, he's played it. He's loved watching the Critical Role stuff. So clearly, as you said, Prime Video is 100% excited about the response it's been getting. I've had a few people reach out to me and tell me how much they enjoyed the show, and they didn't see or watch Critical Role. They were just so into the animation and the style of it that they got sucked into the show. So clearly the response has been good. Enough people watched, and these very talented people are coming back to voice these characters again and create a whole new season. So all that is a positive from top to bottom.
Yeah. It's a whole bunch of voice actors.
Yeah, exactly.
All of them, because they're all friends with each other. So that's exciting. Yeah, I just wanted to add that in there.
Yeah, definitely. It's good stuff. Did you see this thing with Del Toro? Did you see this thing with Del Toro?
Guillermo?
Yeah.
About Scorsese?
Yes.
I haven't read the article. I don't know if I want to read it.
Okay.
Because the person just badmouths Scorsese the whole time, right?
Yeah, he does. And
I heard that he said bad things about Taxi Driver.
Yeah, Taxi Driver.
And I really liked that movie, so I was like, I don't know if I can read this article. Because I heard that he wasn't like critical, like he didn't write, like he was just like it was bad, but he didn't explain it was bad. Why
there was no analysis. It was all just like adjectives, as Guillermo said. And so this is where I think it's really important for people to understand. Like, you can criticize, you just have to have analysis. It's really important to get that analysis down. So, what about this idea for Harley Quinn? Have you heard this? That Harley Quinn might be getting a special here. Well, have you heard about this?
What? No.
Yeah.
Pray tell.
It's for Valentine's Day. It's going to be called A Very Problematic Special Episode. It will feature Harley and Ivy celebrating their very first Valentine's Day together, while also revealing how the rest of the ragtag crew spends the gushiest, mushiest, most romantic day of the year. So
This is the animated series?
yeah, the animated series.
Oh
yes.
my gosh, it's going to be so good.
Right? Wow.
You've been watching it, right?
I only watched one
Harley
episode.
Quinn?
I've only ever watched one episode.
Oh, it's really good.
But I loved it. So
Yeah.
I am going to absolutely catch up on that show for sure. Okay,
Yeah.
absolutely catch up for sure. So I will have some fun with that. And
That's going to be fun.
It's great that she's getting a special. All right, where shall we heading off to next? Are we doing a little?
Somebody is here. Do you want to cue our next
yes
segment? And I'm gonna go see who is at the door.
Okay, sounds good. Let's do it. That's cool, right? I love that song. I picked that song out because our previous song was getting strikes because maybe the licensing ran out on it or something. So I had gotten that through one of our through Tushka, the guy who done our graphics. So unfortunately, there was a strike against us not strike, but like a copyright thing a couple of times. So I switched the sound to a different song. So I hope you guys like that song as well. All right, Wendy, what are you good? Are you back? Are you good?
It was just a package. They don't usually ring the doorbell. My dog freaked out.
Land shark. Okay. Where shall we go with this? What do you got for on trending here? A little K-pop corner?
K-pop corner. I got my Stray Kids unofficial shirt. This is bought off Etsy, but it says Felix's deep voice because Felix is my bias in Stray Kids, and they have released their mini album today called Maxident. So you know that I told you I had that hosting gig over at Sideshow.
Yes.
As soon as they wrapped me, I'm like, hey, by the way, where is the closest Target? Because your girl forgot to pre-order and I missed out on the signed albums. So I ran to Target, and this is, by the way, a really nice Target. Like, they were stocked.
Wow.
But I went over to the CD section and I saw various albums. BTS, 17, NCT, and Hypen. I even saw Blackpink, the version that I wanted.
Oh yeah, the
pink
stuff.
one. Yeah, I just didn't buy it because it's like $50, and I was like, I can't. I already spent $50.
Cheap.
But they didn't have Stray Kids, so I started to walk over to, you know how they put music and tech kind of in the same section together in that store. So I started to walk over to those guys, and there was a girl waiting, and I walked up and I started to walk up to her to get in line behind her, and I looked at her purse, and it was purple, and it says Hope, and I was like, she is BTS Army. She's here for Stray Kids for sure. And I was like, are you looking for the Stray Kids CD? She's like, yeah, they went to the back to grab. And I was like, she's like, are you grabbing all three? I'm like, no, just one. She's like, I'm grabbing all three. So they actually just arrived at Target this morning for that store specifically. They were supposed to get it last night, but I got it this morning, which is why they couldn't put it out.
Right on. Wow.
Got it. I got the heart version.
Yeah. There's 3 different versions of that one?
I mean, it's the same songs, but the covers look different. There's the heart version, the T-Crush version, and then the Go version. And I think that just means different photo cards and different posters. So you know how they do, because this whole thing is the album. The CD is in the back, and they put in this cute little sleeve back here. And this is the book where you have all the Stray Kids, just full cover.
There you go.
This is my bias. This is Felix with the deep voice. And then in the front, they have the photo cards. So I'll show you guys what I pulled.
Okay.
Zach says I got the Go version. I almost got the Go version because I heard that was like limited edition or something like that. I'm like, I don't know what that means. But I got a lot of Banshan in this one. I got this Polaroid. Oh, yeah. I got Lino. Oh, wow. I got Banshan again. And Han. And so it's a mini album, so there's only 8 tracks on it.
Okay.
But I am obsessed already. Yeah, because they write and produce their own stuff.
Right. Right.
So I was just glad I got it because I made a whole story about it because I wasn't sure if they were gonna have it
Right.
in stock because
Right.
they sold out immediately everywhere
Wow.
of the pre-sale stuff. Like Barnes and Noble, Walmart, Amazon, Target, everywhere sold out. But I got mine. I'm very happy. Zach
That's
Mendoza's in the
awesome.
chat
This
says
is
each book has a photo book and the pictures are different than the previous than per version. So
yeah.
this is the heart. I wanted the heart one because I like just the little heart symbols and I think
Yeah.
it's cute.
The symbolism of
Yeah.
Zach saying, I got the same Lino photo card.
Photo card.
Yeah.
Yes. So
Mr.
Stray
Yasmin
Kids Day.
says, so it's like comic books, but with different cover variants.
Yes.
Yeah.
Just like that. That's a great analogy, Mr. Yasman. I'm going to use that from
correct.
now on to explain to people who don't know K-pop.
Do you have a favorite song already? Have you listened to all 8 songs or no?
I've listened to the album twice all the way through because I had an hour and a half drive.
Yeah.
There's a song, which is the title song. It's called Case 143. 143, remember the beeper code back then?
Oh, yeah. Jesus.
Stands for I love you.
Right.
So they're kind of using that called Case 143.
Smart.
That's got a really great beat. And then there is song number 5 called 3 Rocha, and it's by 3 members, the 3 main rappers, if you will, of the group. I really like it because it feels like a clap back. Like, like our words are original. No one can beat us. You keep hating on us. We just keep creating stuff like that. And I'm just because they get a lot of like, I don't think as much now, but in the past, people used to complain that their music was loud.
Oh, wow.
They called it construction music.
Oof.
Because they're a little bit more like dance, electro a little bit. They like to use those tones. But they have ballads as well. They have tons of those. And so I don't understand why people said that. And they just don't care. They just keep making it.
It seems like every one of these bands has like people complaining about them. Because didn't Blackpink do a song where they were pushing back on their haters as well with the Pink Venom song? But there's been a couple other songs.
Yeah,
as well.
Shut Down.
Yeah, Shut Down. That's it.
Yeah, they get a lot of hate. And Jenny, one of the group members for Blackpink, always get called out. They're like, "Oh, she's a lazy dancer." I'm like, she's got to rap and sing and dance. You do that. You do it.
Man, the fan base for anything is just
so toxic.
And not so rough, man. Why?
If you don't like it, then just move on.
Yeah, why just move on? Like,
there are groups out there that I don't care to watch, so I don't leave comments like, they're lazy. I just X out. Done.
Look, I don't like Jennifer Lopez's choreography, but I don't go on her music videos and go, look how lazy this is. Or, it's just like, I don't watch them. It doesn't make any sense.
It's not for me, but if you enjoy it, good
but if
for
you. Enjoy
you.
it, God love you. Exactly.
There's also K-pop fans who get mad that if you stand more than one group. It's true. And I'm like, how does it make sense? Who are you to dictate how many bands? I'm sorry, I've hit my quota.
Yeah.
I'm not allowed to like any more K-pop groups today.
These are arbitrary rules. Yeah, I will have to let go of one of you so that I can make room for another one. Yeah. Sorry.
I gotta retire this one group.
Yeah. So ridiculous, man.
But anyways, the album's out. The music video is great. The songs are great. I am waiting for them to announce their next tour so I can start saving up for their concert because they'll be back. They'll do it. They're very new. They're fourth generation. I think they debuted in 2019, like right before the pandemic.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Oh, so they are somewhat new. Oh, so there's only like 3 years old?
The oldest member is 25. He just turned 25. These are babies.
Right.
They're between 21 and 25, I think, all of them.
They're babies.
They're babies.
Zach Mendoza has resubscribed on Prime for 4 months. Thank you, Zach.
Thank you. Zach also says, yay. He says, third highest selling K-pop pre-sale behind 2 BTS albums for Stray Kids.
Wow.
That is huge.
Yeah.
Because Stray Kids are relatively new.
Yeah. It's a
great to be behind BTS like that, that's quite an achievement.
Yeah, I sent in something on the subscription. He said, where is it here? It says, yay, Stray Kids. Ryan Reynolds' company also tweeted about the Stray Kids release, hoping they can get featured for Deadpool. So this seems to be the movement now. Second week we've heard this. So clearly this is something that possibly is in motion.
It's probably already happened. I'm sure the song's written. Ryan's listened to it many a times. He's got to have at least one, even if it's not an original song. He's got to have a Stray Kids song
Yeah.
in
Will it be
Deadpool
him
3.
and Hugh dancing along or doing something to the? I
Oh
mean,
my God! Can you imagine if they do God's Menu?
Hugh is the dancer, so it would make
He
all
can
the
do
sense in
it.
the world that he would
He
do it.
can do it.
Yeah, it makes all the
Oh
sense in the world.
man,
So
yeah.
we shall see. We shall
Let's
see.
do it. Yeah.
All right, let's what do we okay, well, let's open. Are we done with all the news items? Should we open the
Yeah.
floor to some
We
questions
can
and we'll
open the
wrap up?
floor to you guys, and we
Mm.
can also talk about a couple of things that we've seen.
Oh yeah, so we'll talk
Uh,
about the couple of things that we've seen.
yes.
Send in some questions. We'll pick out like 3 or 4, 2 or 3, something like that. We'll pick out some questions. So send in your questions now and we'll pick them out, answer them to kind of wrap up the show. So
Yes.
let's talk about the things we've seen. Wendy, where do you want to start?
I think we should start with Werewolf by Night.
Oh man, we're not going to ruin it.
We're not going to ruin it for you. 50 minutes, Disney Plus now. Go watch it ASAP. It is
Yes.
excellent.
Yeah. Yeah.
He is fantastic.
I'm
I don't know
preparing my
how to
spoiler
say his
review.
name
He's so good.
correctly.
Gail Garcia Bernal. Yeah, he's so good. So good.
Excellent.
I mean, the amount of inventiveness that Michael Giacchino, composer Michael Giacchino, now / director, put into those 50 minutes rivals just about anything for creativity in the Marvel universe that I've ever seen. I mean, I see people tweeting out, critics tweeting out, like, this is the greatest thing Marvel's ever done, ladies and gentlemen, which I think is a bit too much hyperbole. But that being said, I like that people are liking this, and it's yet another way that Marvel is expanding the possibilities of their franchise and their IP and their brand of the kind of content they can create. You know, we've been so used to them being superhero movies. Okay, great, let's do TV shows. Great, they're doing the TV shows. That's fine. Now where should we go? Oh, let's play some horror here with Werewolf by Night. Let's see what we can create here. Look, Blade's not coming anytime soon, so we might as well start the process here. So here's a way to expand this kind of thing. Oh, you've got Ms. Marvel. Let's explore what it's like to be an Asian or Indian person or Pakistani person in this MCU. Right? Let's explore that. She-Hulk. Let's have a female lawyer. So there's so many ways they're expanding the approach and the brand of Marvel that it's great to see. And this thing, man, I watched it at late at night, and then I watched it at 7 in the morning just for fun, just to have it on. And it was so cool, just so cool. The acting, the special effects, the sounds that were coming out.
Excellent.
The Easter egg cameos that, for those of us who are deep cut comic book fans, we're losing our minds over. All of it is just so well done. And to know that Michael Giacchino directed it is really just kind of crazy, to be honest with you. So
I can see Marvel asking him to direct more.
Yeah. I think this was a dry run.
He can be the composer and the director.
Right. John Carpenter did that for many years on his movies. So why not? Clint Eastwood composed scores for his movies.
That's true.
Directed. So yeah. So
I really liked it. It is quite different from any other Marvel show.
Mm-hmm.
It is in black and white. It's got a specific art style. And having watched it, I understand why they went with the black and white route. And it's not just for style. It's so they can get away with some of the other stuff that you otherwise in color may not be able to get away with.
Yeah.
So I don't know how this special was categorized as comedy.
Yeah.
In the beginning. Was that just to throw people off, like a little red herring?
I think it's more a matter of like, there's so much madness and gore and horror in here that you can't help but involuntarily laugh. I think that's what, just out of nervousness, you're like, you're going crazy watching it.
Yeah.
So I think that's why they labeled it a comedy.
Maybe. And then later they're like, it's really ought to be horror.
Yeah.
Because it's not like ha belly laughs.
No.
There's a couple of jokes, but later on it gets serious.
Pretty fucking brutal.
Yeah. There's this one thing I want to talk about, but I can't because I'd give it away. I'll tell you after.
Okay.
This part was so good.
All right. And we've seen I guess Banshees of Inisheeran. I got a chance to watch it last night. I was not missing the screening. I finished my show at 6:30 and drove 25 minutes to the theater to get there just in time for the screening to start. And I was tearing ass down the highway. because I want to see. I wanted to see this film. It had gotten so much great buzz coming out of the festivals, and people were talking about Colin Farrell for possibly Best Actor nomination. So I really wanted to see it, and I loved it. I mean, I love Irish movies, but when they're this good, it really like evokes the feeling of the island, the feeling of that country,
Yes.
and I think that really came through when I watched it. What'd you think, Wendy?
I didn't know what I was getting myself into when I
Mhm. Mm.
when I walked into and sat down for the screening to prep. I was like, all right, let me watch the trailer. And I was like, well, I like all the actors that are in it.
Yeah, yeah,
So at least I know I'll get good performances. But it was interesting because it's based on, well, it's written by the actor who is in the film, Martin.
yes, yeah, yeah,
Yeah. And it it's an interesting premise where these guys were friends,
yeah,
and one of them just out of the blue woke up one day and decided he doesn't want anything to do with the other guy anymore. And it wasn't
right,
because they had an argument, it wasn't because he said anything offensive to him. He was just done.
right,
And how the both of them take that and how they deal with it. One,
mm.
so that conflict there, it's interesting, and it's not like two men fighting.
No,
That's what's interesting about it. It's these characters and their personalities, especially Colin Farrell's,
yeah,
that really pushed everything, and to watch his character go through that journey and to process everything and come out at the end and where this character is, it's
yeah,
incredible.
yeah. I agree. I mean, it's really the way I summed it up on my tweet was that it's one man who makes a decision about his life, and it wreaks havoc and causes unintended consequences for everyone around him, for just about everyone around him, right?
Pretty
That he cares.
much.
And it's kind of crazy how much it changes the world that we are introduced to initially, and then this decision happens, and you're like, what? And it gets crazier and crazier. Um, and there's the feeling of danger, impending danger throughout the movie that they occasionally touch base with, that I think is great to keep the stakes kind of high. Um, I think Colin is great in the movie. Brendan Gleeson is great in the movie.
Mhm.
But for me, Carrie Condon, who is Colin Farrell's
Oh.
sister, she steals the movie along with the Jenny, the little donkey. They steal the movie from me.
The
And
best little
I mean,
donkey
so good,
ever.
so good.
Yeah.
But Carrie Condon, I've been a fan of since Rome, the series
Mm.
Rome, and I always thought she was going to like kind of break through here in the States, and it never really happened. She was in that Jet Li film Unleashed. She's the voice of the computer in his head, in Iron Man's head, after Jarvis becomes Vision. That's Carrie Condon who does the voice. So for me, she was always just kind of on the periphery of
Yeah.
really mainstream success on the States. So to see Martin McDonough understand her talent, because she was in 3 Billboards Outside Ebbing, Missouri, which he did also, and use her in the film, I thought was really good. And her journey is just so fantastic.
Yeah.
And
I
it's great.
agree.
Yeah.
Yeah. So make sure you guys check this out. I am
Yeah.
not sure if it's playing wide everywhere yet, but when you get a
Right.
chance, you and there's surprisingly a lot of laughs
Yeah.
in this. So a lot of the dialogues made me chuckle out loud until we got like past maybe the halfway point where I was like, oh,
Yeah.
yeah,
That's true. That's
it
true.
takes a turn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
What
then
else? So,
I saw Rosaline
oh yeah.
last night. This is a straight to streaming for Hulu movie,
Mhm.
and it's a reimagined take
Okay.
on the classic Shakespearean tale Romeo and Juliet,
Okay.
and it's being told from Rosaline's point of view, which is interesting because you briefly, she is mentioned very briefly in the play,
Yeah.
and they kind of acknowledge that a little bit in a backwards way in the movie as well. Caitlin Dever is our Rosaline.
Hmm.
She's great. Isabella Merced is our Juliet,
Okay.
and she is just as she was Dora the Explorer previously.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, and she is just lovely and fantastic. And this is just a fun young vibe watch. Definitely a very comedic take, very opposite of the Romeo and Juliet tragic tale.
Yeah.
And it's interesting to watch how they reimagine that and make
Mhm.
it comedy and make it for a slightly younger audience
Yeah.
as far as the dialogue goes. But it worked. It worked as a fun streaming watch.
Yeah.
I enjoy the performances a lot, and it'll be out in about a week on Hulu.
Okay.
So if you have it, check it out.
Yeah, I just got the link today, so
Oh
I'm
yeah.
definitely going to find some time to watch it this weekend. And Caitlin Dever has been, I mean, Jesus Christ, she's so damn good. And like I saw Dope Sick about 3 weeks ago,
Ooh,
right before COVID. I saw Dope Sick and thoroughly loved her in that series. So
yeah.
obviously enjoyed her in a number of things before that. And so I'm going to be very curious to see if how they treat this, because it's like Rosencrantz and Guildenstern are dead, right? You're getting the Hamlet story through their eyes,
Mm-hmm.
and this is the Romeo and Juliet story through Rosaline. It's very interesting, because I mean, Rosaline was the name of the woman who was with Shakespeare before he moved on. So how's that all play out? So I'm very curious to see this whole thing. So
Yes.
I can't wait.
Yes.
All right, so let's hit some of these questions before we wrap up here, Wendy.
We had
We
a
got a few minutes.
cheer
Do we have a cheer? Oh, sorry, we had a
from
cheer.
Thero underscore
Okay.
unfiction. Cheer 15. Stanley owned Jack Russell Terrier. Minor detail there, and I think this is in regards to Werewolf by
Yeah,
Night.
Werewolf by Night. Yeah. Good point.
Yes.
Let's see. Okay, what are we getting here? Is that film made by people who cast and made In Bruges? Yes.
Oh yes.
Yes. Mark McDonough directed and wrote In Bruges, so he's bringing back Colin Farrell and Brendan Gleeson, reuniting them in a interesting interaction between the two guys and new characters. So yeah, absolutely. Did the people who created Golden Globes Award category categorize Werewolf by Night?
Oh, horror, stylized in black and white, comedy, musical comedy.
The Blood's in black and white comedy. It's clearly comedy. What's wrong with you guys? It's so easy. Zach Mendoza says, do either of you have a current trash or turn off your mind TV show? Bachelor in Paradise just started as my go-to trash TV.
Ooh. Let me turn on my Netflix. What have I been watching?
Well, I mean, for me, is always going to be Blind Date or whatever it's called, the show. What's it called? Love is Blind? Love is Blind. That's
Love
it.
is Blind. You love that one.
I mean, she'll catch me rewatching episodes sometimes.
After the Altar.
Yeah, oh my God, those two. It's just incredible, man. Just incredible. She's been watching Happy Endings, rewatching them.
Okay.
And I'll tune into that and watch every once in a while. So that's some of the trash TV. I don't really usually default to trash TV. I'll just put on sports or something. So that's kind of how I default to that. But I don't really have much trash TV that I watch myself personally, because we are so behind on everything. So
yeah, I know you don't have time for trash TV.
No, really, it's true.
You really don't.
How about you, Wendy? Do you have anything?
I usually default to, and I want to call these like more like turn your mind off TVs.
Yeah, turn your mind
The
off.
Circle is one of them, because it's on Netflix.
Yeah.
That social experiment show is just like fun, and you don't have to feel like you have to finish it. It's just one of those things. Turn it on, and you're like, all right. The Bling Empire, the new season is out. That is my go-to.
Wow.
The Bling Empire.
What is that?
It's like real life Crazy Rich Asians.
Oh shit!
These
really?
people are rich, Rocha. Their parties, they have jewel and gold encrusted diamonds.
Is it all Asian people? Is it all Asian people?
Most of them,
oh,
yeah.
Wow.
They're like, and they're like, I mean, they shop on Rodeo Drive like it's nothing.
Right.
They have jewelers come to their home for a home shopping day, so they don't have to go out. They're bored, so they hop on a plane, fly to Paris, do a little shopping, and come back. Like, I really didn't think it was really that realistic, and that's how much money these people have.
Wow. What's it on?
It's on Netflix.
Okay.
But I watch it for. I think in the beginning, I watched it for like the drama that comes with it because
Right.
there's competitiveness going on, like who's richer than who and whose
Yeah.
money is better, like whatever. But now I just watch to see what kind of ridiculous things they purchase. I'm like, what are you buying? How much is that? Why do
Yeah.
you need it?
Yeah.
What house? What fifth house, sixth house that you have?
Now
It's
I'm
crazy.
curious. Now I'm curious to
The
watch
Empire.
it. Okay. All right. I'll put it on my put it in my mind list.
It'll
Um,
make you feel real poor.
but not in spirit. Pour in money.
Not poor in money.
Yeah, Brooklyn Nine-Nine is another one. I always watch that.
Oh, that's a fun one.
That's my turn off brain because you can catch that. It doesn't matter. You're in the middle of a storyline, in the middle of it does not matter. It's such a good show that it's just fun to watch all those actors work so well. And Parks and Rec, those are the two that I always go back and watch.
Yeah.
MK Sonberg, real quick, says, what movies / shows up to this point in the year do you feel have gone underrated / under the radar?
Ooh, what shows or movies? Let me do a
question.
quick Google.
Yeah.
Great question.
Underrated movies and
Movies
TV
of
shows.
what year are we in? 2022.
2022.
Gosh.
Let's see here. No.
Gone under the radar?
Do you think Triple R went under the radar? Everyone's
Yes. Well, no.
Okay.
Because I think people are aware of it.
Yeah.
I think people are really aware of it. I think I almost want to say Everything Everywhere All at Once is, but it's also at the same time not.
Right.
Because I think it's gained like word of mouth, a lot of traction.
Everybody's talking about it.
Yeah. Everybody's talking about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if there's any movies that went under my radar for me specifically. I'm trying to think of shows now. Let's see.
Yeah, I mean, Triple R is certainly making a comeback in terms of.
Oh, you know what? I've got one.
Okay, go ahead.
It's a mainstream show, but I don't think it's getting enough love.
Okay.
Andor.
Wow, really? Okay.
I just the most complaint I hear about, the most common one, is people are calling it boring.
Oh.
And I just don't agree with it. I don't think it's boring. I think it's a lot of building up.
Yeah.
It's giving us a full story on a part of the story on how the rebellion started.
Yeah.
And Cassian being a key part of that rebellion that leads into Rogue One. And as a Star Wars fan, to have a show that is so rich in like quality as far as production goes, that doesn't involve Jedi is incredible. Or any of the legacy characters.
Yeah.
So far, they have not mentioned any, like they haven't mentioned Darth Vader, which is the only cameo that I feel like I can, or Palpatine, like I can see those guys being mentioned because they're key players to the story, but they haven't mentioned yet. If you want to get key or original characters, maybe Mon Mothma would be, but even then, we're getting a really cool look into her life and how deeply she's involved as far as the rebellion goes. And I just think all of it, it's so cool. This like spy thriller political stuff within the world of Star Wars. So and I'm just like sad that it's not getting as many views.
I know, because I love Andor. This is my Star Wars Andor. It's absolutely, I'm loving the shit out of that thing. I think for me, it's the resort, the one with Christina Milioti, because I love her from Made for Love and Palm Springs. And here's another.
Oh yeah.
Here's another kind of comedy that's a little weird, a little out there on Peacock. Peacock, and it's so good. That's how I do it around the house. It's so good, and people aren't talking about it. The other one, Under the Banner of Heaven, no one is talking about that show.
The Andrew Garfield movie.
Yes, and that show was so fucking good, no one is talking. He barely got nominated for the HCA award, the TV awards we did recently, and I don't hear him being nominated for anything for the show or the show itself, and it's so frustrating because it's so good. It's so good, and too many people have not watched it. I think it went on, and it's a brutal show that is incredibly well acted. Speaking of Andor, Deidre Miro, the actress who plays her, Denise Goff, she's one of the wives in the show. She's Sam Worthington's wife in the show, and she is incredible in the show. So it's just like there's so much. Our Flag Means Death. People liked it.
I love that.
And then no one talked about it. Like it came, and then no one talked about it.
Yeah.
So.
Same thing with Pachinko.
Yeah, Pachinko's
Freaking
another one.
love that.
Absolutely.
And did you ever see Marcel the Shell with the
I loved Marcel.
So cute.
I saw it twice.
It's really good.
Yeah.
Not many people talking about that one either.
Yeah, no one's talking about that. I think it just got nominated for best animation at the Oscars. Like it's in consideration.
Ooh.
So I would never have thought that could be in consideration, but it is. So
wow.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, I'm looking back at the movies and I don't see much that kind of slipped by that people didn't give enough love to. So I don't know what to tell you.
Hey, are you watching that Dahmer show?
No, I can't do it. I can't do it.
I have it on my list. I wanted to watch it, but like knowing Dahmer because who doesn't know?
Yeah.
I just don't know if I need to watch it play out. I think knowing the story is enough.
I mean, the family members of the people he killed have come out and said, like, please stop doing this. Stop making shows about these people, this guy, because you make us relive the trauma. It just doesn't make any sense. Yeah. So, yeah. Oh, Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent. That came and went. Nobody talked about it. When it came out, we were like, oh, but then it just disappeared. It did not. People weren't going to see it over and over and over again. So, yeah, that's one that kind of snuck by as well. People love Chip and Dale Rescue Rangers.
Cute.
The Valet on Hulu is excellent, and no one talks about it because it's a Latino-led movie. Come on, people.
Gotta watch it.
And clearly, Bros, which only made $5 million over the weekend. So, Bros is certainly an underappreciated, great film that nobody is going to go see, yet it's fantastic. So, there you go.
There it is.
All right. Well, let's wrap it up. Oh, wait, do we have another cheer? Maybe one more. I thought from Theral _unfiction 22. Cheer 22 says, "Is Amsterdam out yet? 22 bits." Yeah, it came out today.
Oh, okay. And you are gonna go see it?
Yeah. They sent me some Fandango codes.
Oh, nice.
That I can use, so I don't have to pay for it. So it's very nice of them to do that. So I will go see it this weekend.
Let me know what you think.
Yeah, I know.
I'm sure you've talked to people who've seen it.
Oh yeah, Snyder doesn't like it. I've talked to a couple of people who don't like it. So, but I want to see it for myself.
Absolutely.
I like David O. Russell, so we shall see.
Which one of his movies did you like?
David O. Russell? There haven't been many that I didn't. Three Kings is great. Spanking the Monkey, I saw that back in the 90s when I was into the independent film stuff. What was another?
Silver Linings Playbook.
Yeah, Silver Linings Playbook. Sweet Mary Mother of God. That's a great film. American Hustle, I really liked.
You might like this then.
Yeah, I defended I Heart Huckabees. So, which is a really weird movie. But I didn't see Joy, the Jennifer Lawrence one. So I don't know.
I didn't see that one either.
That's not a good film at all. So I don't know. What else? Real quick. And the Fighter, which was great. I liked the Fighter, the one that won the Oscar for Christian Bale. So yeah. All right, and DJ Pistol Pete ABZ says it's 100 cheers, 100 bits.
Wow, you guys, thank you so much for all the cheers.
Everyone's very kind today. Thank you so much.
Amazing.
All right, Wendy, another fun show. Let's get on out of here. We got to get on with.
Wait, let's answer DJ's question real quick before this is the last one.
Avatar in IMAX 4K 3D against watching it on streaming? No, if you want to watch it, but
yeah.
I'd rather you go to a theater and watch it if you want to get the full experience.
Yes. But if you're a little iffy about being in theaters, which we get, then but you still want to relive the story, go ahead and watch it on streaming. I just think that it is made for that beautiful big screen.
Yeah.
So
I watched the 4K of Avengers because we're doing it on the Cinephiles off of Disney Plus. It is gorgeous.
Ooh.
So Avatar in 4K, once they put it up there on streaming, I think will be gorgeous as well. So you may miss out on the theater experience, which is really going to blow your mind, but you can get a good experience watching it at home as well if you have a good 4K television for sure. So yeah, that's what I would say.
You click on watching something that says 4K, but if you don't have a 4K TV, does it just come out regular?
It just comes out. It looks like 3D when you take the glasses off. That's what it looks like.
Just like if I watch with my blur vision, does it 3D for me?
Hit the one in the middle. All right, let's get on out of here. Thank you all so much. Wendy, where can they find you and everything you got going on?
Thanks, Rocha. You can find me catching a nap right after the show on my couch because I'm about to go pass out. The Movie Couple channel, I'm gonna be putting up a reaction once I edit it. I haven't edited yet, but Werewolf by Night, that'll be up maybe sometime tonight, maybe early tomorrow morning. That's probably more likely. Movie reviews are coming. Movie Couple channel, the moviecouple.com, the brand new website, and all my socials just at my name down there, Wendy Lee Zaney.
There you go. You're working so hard, Wendy. God love you.
I'm trying.
As for me, you can always follow me at The Rocha Says on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok, The Outlaw Nation on Twitch. And I may be watching some Major League Baseball playoffs this weekend, so definitely subscribe to me on Twitch if you want to watch my watch-alongs of those games. Yes, the playoffs are here. Get on it. What else? Well, we dropped Geek Buddies spoiler review today for Andor with Laura Kelly joining us. And then we just dropped our regular show on the YouTube channel. Tomorrow, we're dropping the She-Hulk review, so look for that in the afternoon. Don't forget tomorrow, the Pro Wrestling Show Strong Style at 9 a.m. We got that going on as well. So, so much still happening in my world. And I will have reviews of Hellraiser and Werewolf by Night on Sunday. So put that on your calendar at some point for this weekend as well. There'll be spoiler reviews, so I wanted to take some time to watch those. All right, I think that's it. Y'all take care of yourselves. Be well. Go Liverpool. and we will talk to you next. Well, yeah, and go and pick that up right there. And we will talk to you next time with another brand new episode of the John and Wendy Show. Peace.